with a central military command, a common economic plan, and a unified position on international affairs. With a combined population of more than 1.5 billion people, Africans will form one powerful nation in control of her people's destiny, proud of her heritage and spiritually fortified with a common purpose. The Kwame Nkrumah Pan-African Center acknowledges the statements of solidarity from Pan-African organizations, activists, freedom fighters, and all well-wishers on the occasion of African Liberation Day. Let us dedicate ourselves to mobilize and organize towards our ultimate goal of the economic and political unification of Africa. God bless Africans at home and abroad. God bless the African nation that must be. Long live African Liberation Day. Samia Nkrumah, President.
Thank you. She did that way better than I could have. That's my daughter. She's 13 years old.
Very good.
Okay. Moving ahead in the spirit of Kwame Nkrumah, in the spirit of the need, the imperative for African unification, in February 2015, the Pan-African Federalist movement was initiated by a group of Pan-Africanists primarily from Senegal. I became the coordinator for the Regional Initiating Committee of North America, which includes the United States and Canada, shortly thereafter in May of 2015. Our mission is to bring the global African nation into political existence as a federal constitutional order, i.e., the United African States and diasporic communities in much less than a generation. This will signal the reemergence of Africa as a world power. The Pan-African Federalist movement, in addition to North America, has regions in the Caribbean, Latin America, West Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa, Central Africa, North Africa, and Europe. Over the past 3 years, the Regional Initiating Committee of North America has been meeting regularly to discuss plans for the mobilization of the 50 million Black people or Africans in North America toward this end. We have identified 67 cities that have a large presence in the U.S., including Jacksonville and Orlando, which I understand Jacksonville and Orlando are in the house.
Jacksonville.
Okay.
Hold that head up, Jacksonville.
Okay, Jacksonville and Orlando in the house.
Black Power. Black Power.
We held a North American Pan-African Federalist Conference in Washington, D.C. In December of 2018, that's a few months ago, a global Pan-African Federalist pre-Congress was held in Accra, Ghana, from December 8th to the 13th. All regions were represented, and I led the American delegation, which included Sister Ayoka and Papa Nai. The final declaration of this pre-Congress, which was written on December 13th, 2018, called on all African peoples, wherever they may be in the world, to join us in the active preparation for a Congress for the political unity of Africans in less than a generation.
Welcome, John Henry.
We in North America intend to do our part to make this happen. And toward this end, coming from Accra, we have appointed a dedicated chief field organizer to facilitate this process. He is an inspirational speaker. He has been an activist for over 48 years. 40 of those 48 years, since 1979 to present, he has been with the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, which is the organization that was founded by the Right Excellent Marcus Garvey, the duly elected first provisional president of Africa in 2014. Though I had spoken to Brother Senghor many times, I first met him in person on 135th Street in Harlem in August of 2014. I'm a relic of the 20th century, so sometimes I get off. But we're talking about 2014, okay? As the UNIA-ACL was celebrating its 100th anniversary. Baba Senghor was then serving as the President General of the UNIA-ACL. In fact, he was the 9th successor to Marcus Garvey Sr. himself, who had served in that position from 1920 to his passing in 1940. Brother Senghor invited me to address the opening session of the centennial of the UNIA-ACL convention at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture on my Pan-African perspective stemming from my recently published book, The New Pan-Africanism 2020. Okay. Brother Senghor was elected to 2 4-year terms as President General of the UNIA in 2008 in Philadelphia and in 2012 in Atlanta, respectively. That's 8 years in the highest service in the traditional Marcus Garvey. Prior to this, he served in many other positions in the UNIA, and you can review the specifics on the back of your program. But I'd like to highlight the fact that he served as the UNIA Commissioner under 3 former presidents, Maddox, Garvey Jr., and Battle. He was elected the third Assistant President General in 1996 and served in that capacity for 2 terms until 2008 when he was elected to become the President General of the UNIA itself. Since his term expired, Ababa Senghor has been serving the UNIA-ACL as the Division Liaison Executive Outreach Officer and is involved in many grassroots and youth programs and economic development. He currently hosts an internet radio show, Black Star Line 9 Time on Harambe. He is a proud father of 3 beautiful daughters and 4 grandchildren. Finally,
Gainesville,
when I became the coordinator for the Pan-African Federalist Movement of North America in 2014, I kept Brother Senghor abreast of what was happening in the movement.
Brother James. I'm working.
I asked him to assist when we first tried to launch a local initiating committee in Washington, D.C. in 2016 and 2017. After that, I asked him would he become an at-large member of the Regional Initiating Committee for North America, which he agreed to as long as he could stay in the background with no official title. In this capacity, he was a key member of the steering committee that planned our highly successful North American Pan-African Federalist meeting in Washington in May of last year. After I returned from the pre-congress of the Pan-African Federalist Movement in Ghana in 2018, I asked Brother Senghor if he would reconsider his previous position to serve without title and accept an appointment as the field organizer for the Pan-African Federalist Movement in North America. After some consideration and consultation with his family, he finally agreed. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce my friend, my brother, Senghor Baye, Chief Field Organizer for the Pan-African Federalist Movement in North America.
Black power. Yes, black power. Black power, brother. Black power.
How's everybody?
Good, good.
How's everybody?
Good. All right.
Well, I know the ancestors are fine.
Yes, sir.
And I gotta do some, I gotta, thanks for that introduction. And thank y'all for inviting me here. But I gotta do some disclaimers first. First, I wanna make sure that if I say anything that offends any of you, don't take it to your heart. You can take it to your mind, but don't take it to your heart.
Yeah.
Because it's all about love. Second, I want y'all to understand what I'm about to share. Because if you weren't here for libation this morning, you wouldn't feel what I'm saying. Were y'all here for libation this morning?
Yes, sir.
So y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is another thing I got to do before I get started. I did come to inspire and motivate, but I want to make something very clear to all of us. It's not about me, he, or she. It is about we in the 21st century, collectivity for true sovereignty and for real blacktricity.
Yeah.
Y'all got that?
Got it.
Now we can get on with the presentation.
Come on, brother.
You see, because Senghor means descendant of the Most High and the ancestors. And I would not be being true to those people who taught me and raised me in the UNIA if I didn't say this to you. We got everything we need.
That's right.
I said we have everything we need.
That's right.
What we don't have happening is for us understanding how much power we possess within our own selves. let me break that up for
Thank you, Brother John.
Because, you know, me and my queen, we are health and wellness specialists, too. I didn't come here to talk about that, but we'll talk a little bit about that because that's critical. But let's look at organization for a minute. And let's break that word up. The word starts with organ, not nation. You got that?
Yeah.
So everybody has organs in their body, right?
Right.
If any one of your organs is not cooperating with your body, it could cause disorganization for your organized body. Got that?
Got it.
That's where we are as a people.
Come on, brother.
There you go.
You see, we got all kinds of organizations. The
Tell
Universal Negro Improvement Association African Communities League was founded in 105 years ago.
Teach.
And Marcus Garvey was absolutely clear, but it was not about Garvey the individual. Garvey sacrificed his life, couldn't even raise his children, but thanks to Amy Jocks Garvey, his children were raised. I knew both of them. I've worked with both of them. But I'm trying to set the stage for you to understand the blacktricity that you got inside of you, regardless of whether or not you wear African garb, whether or not you wear European clothes, whatever you wear, inside of you, if you heard that libation this morning, you will understand blacktricity begins with the Most High.
Yeah.
We're not talking religion.
That's right.
You see, religion came into it, and this is no offense to any of our
Tell it.
Muslims,
Tell it, brother. Go ahead and tell
our
it.
Hebrews,
Bring it.
our
Tell it.
Christians,
Bring it.
our Yorubas,
Bring it. Black
our
power.
Akans,
Bring it.
our chemomaticians,
Bring it.
our juju, our voodoo, etc., etc. Because their job, once they know who they are, is to address the spirituality of the people they represent. Is that not right? And every scripture I've read say the meek shall inherit the earth. It don't say this one or that one. It said the meek shall inherit the earth. We are meek, y'all. We are also the first. And I got to do these disclaimers, brother, so everybody understands. All of humanity comes through the womb of a black woman.
Tell it, baby.
I'm going to say that again.
Ashay.
No
Black
human
power.
being on this planet that did not come ancestrally through the loins of a black woman.
There you go.
And we got some lost soul children
Yes,
Yeah.
running amok.
yes, sir.
Buy and
About
do.
800, 900 years ago, they created a system called white supremacy.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't supreme no more.
Yeah.
Universally, the time is up of that.
Yeah.
But the reason it exists, like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing has made it so crystal clear to us, is because those of us, people of color, still hold up that system of white supremacy.
Come
Tell-
on now.
Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
So when I tell you to raise your blacktricity up, I want you to drop holding up all of those paradigms of evil, corruption, and discontent.
Okay.
Because once you do that, you're connected in with the blacktricity of the only system that is ordered.
Okay.
And y'all know what that is. That's the solar system.
Woo!
There's
Solar
only one orderly
system.
system that we ain't got nothing to do with that moves around. You see, Earth is just a rock in the sky. A big rock in the sky.
I'm working on it.
But the
Working on the
creator that
understanding. I'm
created
working on
you
it.
and me as the first black man and black woman
Yeah.
created us as lords of creation.
Yeah.
So not only humanity is suffering,
Yeah.
not only African people, the very planet is suffering
That's right.
because of misrepresentation of who you are.
Yeah.
And I know y'all came to hear about the Pan-African Federalist movement, and I'm going to tell you why I'm with it. But I want to make certain things clear to you. The very power that you feel coming from me is already in you.
That's right.
It does not matter what level of consciousness you have. Of course, we want you to be conscious. Thanks to people like Asa Hilliard. Yes,
Yes.
Asa Hilliard.
That's right. That's right.
Very much alive in the whirlwind.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
That's right.
So if you haven't read, get busy reading.
That's right.
Because he left a great legacy.
Yes, he did.
Booker T. Washington. Oh yeah, no, Booker T did not sell us out.
Yeah.
We didn't overstand when he said cast your bucket down where you lay.
Yeah.
Because if you cast your bucket down where you lay, y'all understand? We wouldn't be running around trying to be entrepreneurs.
Brother, I'm
We
working
wouldn't
on it.
allow
I'm working and working.
corporations to exploit us every day.
Every day.
Do you know a corporation is considered in a monopoly capitalist society as an individual? Did y'all hear me? A corporation in a capitalist society is looked at as an individual.
Say it again.
And I'm telling you, you got to get rid of your individuality. You got to give that up. You know why? One of you were birthed in the world through two. Your mama and your baba, and those two were birthed by 4, and those 4 were birthed by 8, and those 8 were birthed by 16, and those 16 came from 32, and those 32 came from 64. You got my drift? So you ain't got time to be no individual.
Welcome, Jamoke
You ain't got no
Mendez.
time to run around with your
Like
pants
power.
hanging down. You
Like
ain't got
power,
time
brother.
running around
New York City.
gatting other people. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So what's happening is we've been deprogrammed away from who we really are.
Teach, brother, teach.
And as you heard this morning, our ancestors are waiting and watching, and children crying and dying, and our people run around too apathetic to understand the real reason why we still oppressed.
Say it again.
In 24 hours, we can change this thing. But if we're not connected and don't have what I call not black power, authentic power. Let me break that up for you.
Tell it. Go ahead and tell it.
It's the opposite of white power. I'm talking about authentic power.
Real power.
Aboriginal.
Real power.
Real power. Teach, brother.
Blacktricity.
I know.
The blacktricity love that brought us in this world. You see? And it's very important for us to understand that the universe is telling us that every day. And we still playing around. We got tornadoes wreaking havoc all over the place. Hurricanes all over the place. All kinds of things going on. And we still run around like everything is cool. What did Bob Marley tell us? What did Bob Marley tell us?
A lot of
Huh?
things. Said a lot of things.
Y'all know what he said. Have no fear for atomic energy. Because none of that can stop the time.
Woo,
The Creator
teach.
created the people who created atomic energy.
Good knowledge, good knowledge.
And stop praying for God to come save you.
Teach.
God gave you your Savior.
Teach.
You are your Savior.
Look within, look within.
I'm not telling you don't pray.
Look
Pray.
within, look
However
within.
you pray, pray. But stop asking God for something he already gave us. Or I take that back. She, he.
All right.
Woo!
That's
Because
right.
sometimes we get confused.
Right. That's right.
A little bit, just a
Especially
little.
a lot of our black brothers who become conscious don't understand that kingdom will never come till queendom comes first.
All right.
You see, because every king comes through a womb. And then when you can't respect the source of physical life, you don't no longer respect yourself.
Tell it,
Y'all got that?
tell it. Good knowledge.
That's important. You see, because I can stand here all day long and say stuff to you, but guess what? You got to go out and check it out for yourself. Don't just hear something and say, I agree, and then go on your way. This ain't church.
That's right.
I don't want you coming in here, feel good, and then go out and say, oh, that was a great speech. I want you to go to work. We came to talk to you about the work, and many of you are already doing the work. How many of y'all feel like, how many of y'all been to Ghana? How many of y'all been to Ghana? Not many. Well, guess what? This feels like Ghana today. Okay. Right here. If you've been to Ghana, this feels like it right here today. So we in North America though, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to explain to you that Africa is in you. I was born in Banneker City, Washington, D.C. Some call it Shaitan City. Y'all hear me?
That's right.
Watch Shaitan.
Satan, devil,
I
Satan.
like the Banneker side. Because Benjamin Banneker put it there. It might not be a chocolate city, but I'm telling y'all, there's a lot of brothers and sisters there like me. And they ain't playing. They serious. The critical mass will go anywhere where there is food, clothing, and shelter.
Teach.
So you don't need the critical mass to move forward. But what you do need is those who are committed, who know enough to put the formulas together. And I'm going to say it, social service is critical. Education, critical. Let me run through some points that we set up in our local coordinating committee. we working on changing the name from local initiating committee, because when people say initiating, sometimes they get a little antsy, to coordinating committee. That's in the process. But, because I was at the Million Man March in 1995 with over 2.5 million people, not just brothers, people came to Washington, D.C., changed the whole fabric of how they did stuff in the government. President left town.
Real power.
Brought the military all up in the army.
Real power.
Was expecting to try to exterminate us, but the spiritual power was so heavy that all they jokers could do was look on television and tell a lie about how many people was there. I've been to demonstrations all my life in Washington, D.C. I was there when Dr. King came in 1963 at the Lincoln Memorial. So I know darn well that it was over 2.5 million of us there. That's power. That's authentic power.
Real power.
Unfortunately, and I served on that committee, the hosting committee, but unfortunately we didn't harness that power. Harness that power and take it to the next level. Some people did certain things, don't get me wrong, but we didn't harness that power. My brother, if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. If we had to harness that power, we could have shook the whole planet. Ain't nobody seen nothing like that ever.
Never.
And probably won't see nothing like that again, because they're going to do everything they can to stop that, because they understand how powerful that was. I was seeing brothers that were my enemy hugging me. I mean, it was that much black love. Anyway, let me don't get off the topic. Promoting health and wellness is one of our planks with our local initiating committee. I see that out here today. Promoting health and wellness. We got to do it.
That's right.
We ain't got no business being on the bottom of the rung of health. Why? Come on, y'all. Serious. The pharmaceutical industry is designed to address eugenics movement. The
Teach.
eugenics movement and the pharmaceutical movement are cousins. Y'all hear me? Now, I'm not telling you don't go to the doctors, because I'm all about you finding out what the physicians say. But if you know the story about Dr. Sabi, the reason Dr. Sabi walked out of the courtroom is because the doctors the people were going to, their reports came in of the people that they had diagnosed with cancer and AIDS, and then they went to Sabi. Well, I'll take that back. They went to the fig tree. I want to make that clear, too, because we got to get off of individuality. I knew Dr. Sabi, and I know mine, too. And it was not just Dr. Sabi. There was an organization called the Fig Tree.
Okay.
Dr. Sabi got to be called Dr. Sabi, and because he said that he would cure it, in an article, they tried to run him amok, and he ran them amok in the courtroom.
That's right.
That's important,
That's it.
because if he did that, imagine what we could do if all of our health practitioners were able to work together and not compete with one another.
Come on.
Let me move on. You got my drift. Increasing, this is super important. Increasing intergenerational communication. Those young people that drummed up here today,
Yes.
they're not the future, they are the present.
That's right.
I want us to understand that. Sometimes we keep on trying to push them down the road, and it's no offense to y'all, because they are going to be our future.
But they're
we
the
got
present.
those that ain't even been born yet, they're going to be our future. That is our present.
That's right.
And we still send our children off to messed up, miseducated schools. So at least that we can do is to set up after school programs. We can do that, y'all, and try to give them the correct information. Promoting positive black African culture through music and arts. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Y'all know we the baddest dancers, the baddest musicians on the planet, right?
Right.
Come on, y'all.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Y'all know about Fela Kuti?
Yeah.
I talked about Bob Marley. Y'all know about Peter Tosh. I mean, we can name a whole lot. Michael Jackson. Come on, you know, Whitney Houston. We bad. But we get caught up with the wrecking industry and Hollywood. I said the wrecking industry in Hollywood.
Hollywood.
That are now, and I'm glad to hear
Holly
some of our
Werewolf.
brothers and sisters now are self-promoting and producing themselves.
Holly Werewolf.
That's a little hard work, but that's the way to go. Y'all hear me? Because they still are trying to kill Michael Jackson and his legacy.
That's right.
They're still trying to do that with Prince.
That's right.
They had to give away his whole name for 7 years. Do y'all understand how much do we need for us to see the game?
That's right.
We are the baddest entertainers on the planet. That cultural energy is part of the blacktricity I'm talking to you about.
Yes, sir.
Establishing food security. I ain't just talking about making good food. We got to grow our own food, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you're not growing it, you got to get with somebody who is growing it. You got to know that that is the way. There is no culture without first agriculture. Agriculture is the source of culture. You can't have culture if you don't stand on the land. And we're going to get to that. You got to have land. In Africa, we ain't talking about no 54 countries. They did that in the Berlin Conference. I'm from Africa. No offense to Ghana, no offense to Nigeria, no offense to Tanzania. We want the whole continent.
That's right.
Yeah.
Y'all heard what we said earlier? We represent North America, not the United States. We're dealing with the continental. See, we got to go back to the wholeness thereof. In ancient Kemet, ancient Nubia, it was whole. Oh yeah, they had problems. They had all kinds of stuff. But we ain't learned how to build a pyramid. We still selling for projects.
Okay.
And I should say tech news. But it's very important for us to recognize that we can establish food security. And when we talk food security, we're not just talking about digging up the soil. I'm talking agronomy, knowing what's in the soil before you go in it.
All right.
Y'all hear me? That's important. Science par excellence. Now, defending, this one's gonna get y'all. It gets me. Defending black African people physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah.
I gotta read this one out.
Go ahead, read it.
Augmenting law education, collecting resources, increased quality of litigation with cultural knowledge, connecting with attorneys willing to set precedents via class action lawsuits, and establishing police watch groups. Now, some people say, well, he said police watch groups.
That's right.
Now, I'm going to break that up for you, too.
Go ahead, brother. Break that
We
down.
complain about all the killing that the police is doing.
Listen.
Do y'all know where the police came from?
Slaves, slave hunters.
The system of white supremacy created
Slave
the police
catchers.
state. What we need to do is to police our own selves.
That's it.
Y'all heard the Buffalo Soldier earlier?
Yes.
Why can't we control our own communities? We run around in security uniforms and protect buildings
Woo!
with guns.
Okay.
Y'all ready to go back to the neighborhood and protect the neighborhood?
With
And
guns.
asking the brothers to go out there against all of these weaponry without legal authority and armament.
Teach.
That is a way to organize.
Black
I
power.
want to give you examples, brothers and sisters, of the potential that we have. And I hope you understand too, sir. I know I'm here to speak about the Pan-African Federalist movement, but this is what we're doing in D.C. Establishing an economic system to encourage industry and commerce. We're not talking about making money. Oh, it's okay if you're making money. And y'all saw what Smith did the other day. Huh? At Morehouse?
Yes, sir.
See, that's an example of the power. That's power.
Was right there. I was right there.
That wasn't something that he just thought about. Many people don't do research on him. Because I know brothers and sisters connected to that family. And I'm telling you, what he did was set a precedent for going forward. But anyway, I ain't going to get all into that. Us lifting us.
Us lifting
We
us,
got
baby.
Us Lifting Us in Atlanta, which is absolutely a fabulous economic program. And we probably got some right here. We got some all over the place. They need to consolidate their resources. Filling the educational gap. I know this is going to hit home to many of y'all because I've seen a lot of educators out here.
Right here. Yes, sir. Teach, brother.
Filling the education gap.
Tell it.
And we ain't just talking about the education of our students. We talk about the education of our teachers.
That's right. That's
our
right.
principals.
That's right.
Our administrators.
That's right.
Huh?
That's
How
right.
you gonna run a school educating young people and you won't even know what's up?
Okay.
Dr. John Henry Clark took them to the bridge in New York. We took them to the bridge in D.C. They fired the superintendent in D.C. because he started dealing with an African-centered curriculum.
Teach.
So that'll tell you something right there. I can tell you about Howard University, Dr. Leo Hansberry, Francis Cress Wells, and they were all kicked to the curb at Howard University. But anyway,
Howard.
HBCU. Come on. Filling the educational gap is so critical. Establishing a system of self-governance. Uh-oh. Now I heard people tell us, how is the Pan-African Federalist movement going to pull together something? We're only following what our ancestors already put in place.
That's right.
Patrice Lumumba.
Yeah.
Y'all remember him?
Yeah. Your president.
El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X. But I want to tell you what his last name was. Omar Wale. Omar Wale.
That's right.
He was a perfect example of functional Pan-Africanism. The Organization of African Unity, its original plan, and the Organization of African American Unity was a perfect example of creating institutions that connect us globally. What did they do? They murdered Lumumba. They murdered Malcolm.
All right.
Kwame Nkrumah was compromised. Haile Selassie was compromised. Dr. Julius Nyerere maintained himself. He got out of there and said, never deal with the World Bank. But all of them, Sheikh Anta Diop, all of them, if you do your research, the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, all of them call us to come together in a federal. And let me clarify this, because sometimes I run into black people and they say, why are you using the word federalism? Y'all, I tried to tell y'all earlier, ain't no human beings on the planet that are not our children.
Teach. Yes,
When you
sir.
say federalism, we're not necessarily talking about what the federal United States did. We're talking about what federal Africans need to do. Sheikh Anta Diop knew what he was talking about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And get this, we're not asking you to change your ideology. We're not asking you to change your philosophy. We're not asking you to change any of that. But we're asking all Africans to be at the table. Sign our petition. I'm getting there. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Am I making some sense?
It makes a lot of sense, brother.
Because like I said, it ain't about me, he or she. It's about we collectivity. I didn't prepare a prepared speech. I let the ancestors roll through me.
All right.
Because I'm mysterious elements. Sometimes I don't know. That's why I made apologies to you, because I don't know what they might throw at me to say.
Okay.
Talk, ancestors,
You
talk.
hear what I'm saying?
Talk, ancestors, talk.
Goals and objectives of the Pan-African Federalist Movement. We got one major goal. And we say by the next generation. Some folks say, oh, man, how you going to do that so soon? I told y'all we could do it in 24 hours. Y'all saw what Marcus Garvey and the UNIA did in less than 11 years? They caused, it was before white women in America got the right to vote. We had a convention in Madison Square Garden.
1919, 1920.
Yes. We even put ships on the water.
That's right.
We did some stuff.
We did.
But they didn't just run Garvey out of the United States. They continued to character assassinate Garvey and
Yes.
keep Garvey from the critical mass. So you got to understand, Garvey couldn't have done anything if he didn't have other people.
That's right.
Some of your family members probably were right there.
That's right.
But at any rate, our campaign is to promote love and respect and to bring us together as one. It doesn't matter what your ideology, what your religion, what your philosophy is.
Teach.
That might matter later, but it don't matter now. What matters now is Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed, Arkans are being killed, Yorubas are being killed, Voodoos are being killed, all of us are being killed because we ain't woke up and really understood how to stop ourselves from being killed.
Our babies are being
We
killed.
even start to kill our own selves.
Our babies are being killed.
If that's not self-hate, what is it?
Teach.
I was in Chicago not long ago. I didn't hear one gunshot. But most people think Chicago is Chirac. Washington, D.C. is just like Chicago. Any city is the same. We got problems. Only because we haven't corrected them. If you send our children to a miseducated system,
Gonna have problems.
if you drop guns in the alley, oh, I said it.
But they do it.
That's what they do in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
They don't have no gun stores in Chicago. So where'd all the guns come from? We got to think.
That's right.
We don't make no ammunition.
Used
The
to
very
gun
enemy
hunt.
that has us all incarcerated understands that when we rise up, it's over.
There you go.
Used
Y'all
to
know who
gun.
the enemy is. I ain't got to define that. Y'all know. You wouldn't even be here today for Africa Day if you didn't know who the enemy is.
Okay.
But I want to deal with the enemy in our own selves.
Uh-oh.
Inside of us, the apathy, the fear. The opposite of fear is love, y'all. If it was, I was taught by Honorable Charles L. James. He told me in the bathroom spitting up blood in Chicago in 1986 when I was his security, if it was left to him, death would die. He said, don't talk to me about death. Talk to me about living. You know what I mean? Because and we all gonna go, y'all. I mean, come on, this is reality. This is something that me and my queen deal with all the time. Yes, it hurts us when we lose loved ones. But you don't lose them spiritually. We're all spiritual beings having a physical experience.
Human.
The most power of us is spiritual. This is just a physical body that holds the spirit in it. That's why we can dance so good. You got people that can jump up. Oh man, you got Africans that can do almost everything. And you might not be able to do it, but you see they can do it because they put their practice into it.
That's right.
We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. Now, how do we do this? We are simply embarking upon what is called a campaign. And every one of you all are needed. So can nobody walk out of here and tell others that I didn't give y'all an assignment. We need every African on the planet to sign the petition.
Listen.
Every African to sign the petition.
Listen.
Because that means that you simply are campaigning not for a political person to run and not represent you, but for something that you deserve for you and your prosperity, your continuation. Africa is ours. I'm not telling y'all everybody got to go back to Africa either. Oh, I'm a Garveyite. I'm telling you, you got to bring Africa back in you. Those that are ready, I suggest all of y'all travel to Africa.
Ashe.
Go visit.
Ashe.
You will breathe better air. You will be respected. You go to Ghana, you will be respected by the people. I don't care whether you got a dashiki on or a tie. You're going to get respect. Now, I'm not saying we don't got... Oh, that's interesting. It's a caterpillar. That's interesting. But anyway, it's important for us to recognize
Caterpillar to the butterfly.
the power that we have.
Tell it.
Now, if everybody signs the petition one time, and everybody goes out and asks other people to sign the petition, what we're going to do with those millions of names in North America and in all the other regions that we have? We got 8 functional and we're working to get 12 all around the world. If everybody signs the petition and we knock on somebody's door, like, let's say Ghana, well, let me use another country. Let's say Sierra Leone. And we say, that sovereignty that you've given back to the oppressor, y'all heard me? They got independence, and their sovereignty was given to somebody else. All the corporations that are raking out the resources out of Africa. We're supposed to be the people getting that sovereignty. Africans outside of Africa. And it's okay if you do your DNA test, but I'm telling you, Africa is yours.
Yes, sir. It's all mine.
We're not dealing with the Berlin Conference.
It's all mine.
So when we have those signatures,
all ours.
It gives us justification that people want a change.
It's ours, all ours.
No disrespect to the African Union, but we're not a top-down. We're a bottom-up movement.
Woo!
You see, in ancient times,
yes, we are.
The leader is held accountable. Everybody got to have food, everybody got to have security, and if they don't, the leader got to go. Because the leader's job is to follow the will and need of the people. We're dealing with a Eurocentric leadership.
Teach.
The president. Hey, that's all pop. That's over with. Can't y'all tell by looking at 45? That's over. But it's going to still be in our face if we allow it. We got to disallow that. Many of us don't pay no attention to 45. Some of us pay too much attention.
Say it again. Pay no attention to 45.
You see, because I was talking earlier this morning, people forgot about President Wilson.
Get a 45 for 45.
President Wilson probably was more racist than 45. And President Wilson wasn't even serving as president
like
after he had a stroke. And just took 70 years for them to find out the details of why he was not going around meeting with people, because his wife was running the show. Did y'all know that? Yeah. That was in 1919 and the 1920s, right? Interesting. Same time as the Garvey movement. Interesting. This country didn't even... I hope y'all come for our convention before we go 2021 to Africa to build the Congress. And we're going to do it. Ready or not. I just want y'all to be a part of helping us do it, because the more y'all that get busy with us, the quicker we can make it happen. My mother, you all right? Everything okay? Am I all right? All right. I want to make sure
Sisters, we're getting
I
ready to
don't
lose the
disrespect my
video.
elders at all.
So we're
Now,
going to have to close it down. We're losing the video.
Once we have finished the
And,
campaign, which is
unfortunately,
critical,
we love you.
because I'm going to
Unfortunately,
do
we're
my
losing the video.
best
May the Creator continue
to make sure that every
Peace,
black
Black Power.
community
We love you.
that wants to
Greetings
establish
to
a
all.
local organizing
Our
committee
chairman, Hashim Azinga.
does it. And we don't need 30, 40,
every
50
black
people. We
person
only
in
need
America,
5
Black
good people,
Panthers, we
5
love
to
you.
7
But we have to
that
sign out.
represent
We're
the
losing
interests
the
of going on in
video.
the community. We're not
At
asking
least
you
we
to
have
do
this
anything
recorded
different.
and we will
We're
post
not
it.
even asking you to pay dues yet.
Try to give
Of
you
course,
a
we need
couple more
donations
minutes,
for the
then we're going
work.
to close it down.
But we haven't even got to that point yet. We feel you are the best donation we can get being a part of us. Right, my sister? What after that? If you're ready to work, we have what is called the call. I got enough over there for everybody to take it.
Yes,
It's
sir.
called the call. The call is our ancestors. You answer that, send that to us, goes in a database, and we lock you in. We're not asking you to go outside of yourself and do anything that you can't already do or that you're not already doing. Of course, if you like motivated and you really want to work a little extra, do that.
Do it.
But we need you. We need Florida as a super LCC. Meaning we need all over Florida communities organized. We want you to be with NCOBRA, we want you to be with the UNIA, we want you to be with NBUF, the AAPRP, all of that. Us lifting us.
Us lifting
Because
up.
we calling on organizations too, not just individuals.
Black
And we're
Panthers
not
all.
just calling on political organizations or economic organizations. We call on civic associations, photography clubs, drama clubs. Everybody can benefit once we take back control of the cradle of civilization of mankind, Africa.
Ashe.
And I want y'all to know, we're going to do it.
Yes.
We're going, in fact, we've already won.
Yes.
We're following defeat 'cause
Yes.
we know how to go get victory.
Yes. Black Power.
So we just following what our ancestors told us. Answer the call. I'm gonna give it to y'all. Don't take it with you. Give it to us. Give us the information. What do we do next? Build in your local coordinating committees. You already got it going on. And I want to thank you so much for inviting me. I don't know how you got motivated to invite me, but the fact of the matter is the ancestors are working. Like I told Joe Zolge earlier, he did the speech that I was going to do in libation. I had no idea he was going to do libation like that. I don't think he got any